Chickweed is one of the most abundant and widespread of wildflowers. It's a weed of arable ground. It occurs everywhere, and you can find it in flower almost any month of the year, even in December in some years. But for much of that time there are few insects about, and this explains how its pollination strategy is so different from the elaborate dichogamous choreography of its more flamboyant and eye-catching close cousin, greater stitchwort. Remember, dichogamy is where stamens and carpels mature at different times in the same flower. And in fact, it would be well worthwhile making the comparison for yourself. Both are in flower at this time of the year, and it's well worthwhile looking at the flowers side by side with a hand lens. Here is what the flowers of greater stitchwort, which we met on one of our wildflower encounters last spring, look like. They are 15 to 20 millimetres or even more across, whereas the flowers of chickweed are no more than 10 to 20 millimetres across. The flowers of chickweed have 5 sepals, which are longer than the 5 white petals, and these are so deeply divided the flower looks like a 10-rayed star, hence the scientific name of its genus Stellaria, little star. There are 10 stamens, in 2 rows of 5, 1 row in front of the sepals, the other in front of the petals, and it is the 5 in front of the sepals that mature to release pollen when the flower first opens. Abundant nectar is produced by yellowish bulb-like swellings on the base of each filament of the outer stamens. In sunny weather, so abundantly, the 5 droplets can be seen with the naked eye. At this early stage, the stigmas stand erect in the centre of the flower, their receptive inner surfaces closely facing each other so that only cross-pollination can occur. But the 5 inner stamens, the ones in front of the petals, are always sterile, shriveled looking and without pollen, or sometimes even absent altogether. The anthers shed their pollen in succession, one by one, and as the second and third anthers dehisce, the stigmas draw away from each other, and their receptive inner surfaces face upwards. Its long flowering season means that for much of the year, self-pollination is more likely than cross-pollination in chickweed, and indeed sometimes it even produces cleistogamous flowers. Cleistogamous flowers never open, and self-pollination takes place inside the closed flowers. But in early spring, the flowers are visited by numerous small flies and beetles when there is little else, few other flowers to attract their attention. And whether by self-pollination or cross-pollination, abundant seed is always produced in rain-sensitive capsules that only open when conditions are dry and breezy. In the herbal tradition of bygone days, chickweed was especially valued for care of the skin and for making poultices. And as the common name suggests, chickweed, birds were particularly fond of it. And in fact, a name by which the botanists of old knew the plant was Morsus gallinae, which means the hen's mouthful. But a much more useful thing to know about chickweed is that it is an excellent salad plant, and it makes a lovely soup with potatoes and spring onions or scallions. So I'll give you one guess as to where this fine crop of chickweed is destined for.